All right. Okay, I was saying Alhamdulillah that we are meeting again. Thank you for coming early. Today we're looking into the main part is the evidence, but before that one, you have to understand police investigation. All right, okay, right. I've sent you some materials earlier last week and also more material today, all right, for you to look at. All right, now today we are going to start with understanding forensic accounting itself. Yeah, all right. Okay, when we talk about forensic accounting, we mean what does forensic means, all right? Okay, now when we talk about forensic accounting, sometimes the terminology of forensic accounting, forensic criminology, and sometimes the terminology of economic crime, more or less they are all the same. Every time when we talk about forensic, meaning that you are going to decipher if it's a body of a human, you are going to open up the stomach, look at the heart, look at the kidney and all, see what causes the problem of that person's death. So forensic is like that. We are going to open up the documents, the investigation, the company look into all the necessary related documentation in order to find where is the problem. The problem in the sense of forensic criminology is a criminal action. All right, okay. Now that we know that, so the next thing you have to do is to know how to do that. So the first part before we are leading to evidence, prosecution and going to court for the punishment, all right, you will need to know what to do when you are faced with an offense or when you are asked to go and investigate. All right, okay, you will know the limit, you will need to know the limit of your powers, and you will need to know how to investigate relying on the characteristic or element of the offense. That's what we want to do today. Right, any questions to start with? Anyone? So let's look into this. Okay, when we say methods for you to identify the crime, let's say you know the money have been gone, all right, from the account, and then our officer, your supervisor asked you whether, all right, this can be charged. So you are investigating, you are the investigating person involved. So what will be the first thing you have to do? All right, okay, number one, you have to look into what is the problem of the situation given to you. All right, usually we will always have in our heads all the offenses that you have learned in the all right, penal code. But then in order to determine the charge and the offense, the actual offense, all right, okay, you will have to look in detail. That's the reason why you have to memorize the element, all right, or you have to make sure you you understand all the element of penal crime. All right, penal code crime. Okay, so you need to know at the back of your hand all the section that is involved. All right, okay, for example, theft, we know it is at 378. We know that there will be section 420, 415, all right, okay, and the rest of the section that is involved, right? So when you were asked to do the investigation, right, try and reserved, the first thing, the next thing you have to do is try and reserve, right, pointing fingers to the crime, to the section, to the, all right, a type of crime that is involved. The first thing you got to do is to look into the materials that is given to you and to start the investigation by calling for interview. All right, okay, sometimes it is an interview in the beginning of the session, but when the interview get repeated, it is called by the fact that you are making an inquiries. So here you need to know your limit as a person who works in a bank, as a person who is appointed on the job of forensic account. All right, you do not have the power to run interrogation, right? In fact, to question these people, you will need to have authority. And that's the difference. The moment you graduate and hired as a forensic officer, you are not a police. You are not in the enforcement body. All right. So all the privilege of interrogation, demanding that people come for the interview, go to the office, that you cannot do. All right. So what is this stage where it involves forensic accountant, forensic or staff or forensic officer? Right. This is the initial one when the boss or you yourself suspected there is some hanky-panky in the economic system or in the banking system or in the company itself. Right. Usually somebody will notice money is missing. Or the property involved is transferred to another person, right? Okay, so you are at this very level in the in-house. Okay, what do you do? When you were told there is a suspicion account for you to look into, the first investigation start with inquiries or interview. You'll be given permission to interview certain people, or you will need to make a list who will be the people that you want to interview and allow your boss or the authority in that office to go and bring those people, or you can go and interview them. All right. When you talk about the interview, there are certain things that you need to look at and preparing. Right, on the first phase, when you look at the amount of money, you will know when money gone missing, that means somebody will have to lose money from the account, somebody will be gaining. So the next thing you need to know is to then set up a strategy. All right, after the interview, you set up strategy. Right, now you have some pictures of what is going on with the money. All right, you have interviewed some, you will get some idea. So if you don't get any idea to move for a better strategy number 2, then you interview more people. All right, then you request more inquiries to be set up to allow you to go into the investigation. So that's the first thing you do. All right, and then you set up a strategy. In your strategy, look into the missing money by the fact that you understand the law says if money is missing, somebody gain, somebody will lose money, right? Okay, now where do you see that? In the ACTA. You will see in the theft, you will see in misappropriation, you will see in fraud, you will also see in cheating. So that 4 will be in your head. Later on, when you go for the second part of forensic accounting, you will learn a lot more. Or if you are working with other types of law that have economic offense, you will know to remember that. But then again, remember, look for someone who lose money and someone who gain money. If the someone that gain money is within your system, then that will be for your second strategy. Your second strategy is fixing what you get from the interview and have at the back of your mind which ACTA or which section that will be involved. So the third one is detection. Now you know some people lose money, some people gain money. All right, then you detect who will be the gaining person, the person who gain money. Okay, and then you will then establish the connection. Here, just to establish how much money goes into one person or all the money that is lost goes to many person. All right, detection. Detection, when you do all this, there is another move, and in your right hand, all the documentation, you have to report your strategy daily. All right, what are you doing? Who is you interviewing? All right, what will be the question? That will be also very good, because later on all this will be tendered to the prosecutor, all right, or the legal officer for them to apply, for them to take the action into a trial. Yeah, all right. Okay, so once you have the detection, now you want to compile, all right, whatever the materials that pointing to the person who is gaining money. All right, you want to know the detail of the person who gained money. Sometimes the next strategy is this: after you have done the detection, you will be encountered with a limitation. Sometimes the money goes outside of your institution. Then you need to know how to trace that. If you do have power, all right, then you will be the person who investigate outside of your in-house situation. If you are not the person who is with the authority to investigate, all right, then you will then need to know who will be the one that will take over outside the in-house investigation to carry out the program. All right, okay. Now the last one is, okay, you will need to know whether it involves other technology, whether it involves the computer system or the related information or description of computer. All right, and then you will also need to know whether it involves in Malaysia, in this country, or whether it involves outside jurisdiction. Outside jurisdiction, this one means outside the country. All right, okay, those are your what you will do when you plan for the investigation. Now, once you have compiled all that, right, okay, the next thing is you will make a recommendation that your boss make a police report to start the actual running. Okay, right? Nampak, those are in rough the strategy. So what is the use of you understanding theft, understanding cheating, understanding all the element that you learn in this class? All right, okay, this is, you use all that information that you learn in class when you do the interview. Right, when you do the interview, when you do the detection, when you do the final report, then you will know that in that particular situation, all right, you will be, right, cornered to either theft or cheating or fraud or misappropriation, right? Okay.